cover real estate lifecycle management. Okay, so ReFx module basically it is only managing your contract management. Like if you are going to understand the overall concept of ReFx, which is provided by SAP, okay, it's only covering your lease in and lease out, and apart from that, some commercial processes, commercial contract processes. Okay, but when we are talking here in India, like the concept of real estate industry, it is including your construction and then lease in and lease out, and apart from that, the maintenance also. So it is, when we are talking about real estate company in India, it is the complete package, even starting from any concept and then realization, where we are executing it to construct it and then lease in and lease out, then finally it is going for maintenance. Okay, so including everything, we used to call it as a real estate life cycle management. So this concept I'll explain first, and then business processes in SAP ReFx, major business process in ReFx I will explain, and what kind of reporting and dashboards we are having, and integration with other modules, major modules I'll just let you know here, and then course contents we will cover, whatever the course contents we are going to cover in this session. 1 second please. So first of all, let us understand the real estate lifecycle management overview. From which point it start? As per, let's say if you are going to present the capability of ReFx to any client in India, okay, so they are expecting the explanation from starting of any concept, when you are going to invest, and then when it is going for lease in or lease out, and then finally it is going for maintenance. So they are looking for complete package solution. Okay, so when we are saying real estate lifecycle management, it is having all business processes from starting from your concept initiation to your maintenance. Okay, so here in real estate lifecycle management, it provides true ability to plan investment and monitor construction project. So let's say there is one company called Godrej Properties. If they are looking to invest anything, where they are planning to lease it out. Let's say they are planning to construct one mall, and they want to lease it out to their customers. Okay, so when they are planning or lease out, before that they need to construct that. Even before construction, the idea has to be approved. Even before idea, it has to be initiated by any portfolio or any strategic manager. So the concept will start from that point of time. So we are planning for investment, and then once this idea will be approved by the management based on the parameters, based on the capabilities of the organization, then it will go for the construction of the project. Then once it is constructed, let's say my mall is ready, and then I have the open areas, I am having the shops, I am having office spaces. Okay, so these vacant area has to be promoted. It has to be taken into campaign to find out the best lead. Okay, and then once lead we are getting, based on that we can find prospective tenant also. So these activities, the activity of your customer relationship management also has to be taken as a part of the same solution, real estate management. Then once you are finding suitable tenant, okay, in that case managing leases including posting and rent escalation. So once your tenant is finalizing the unit, let's say here in this stage you are getting your tenant, and then tenant is giving some requirement, some requirement like I need this much of a space, I'm having this packet of to paying the rent. Okay, so based on that you can search the unit, and once you are finding it out, you can send it to your tenant. He's the prospective as of now, prospect, but like just I'm saying here tenant. So you can give it to this requirement to your prospective and the prospect, and then finally once it is agreed between prospect and you, then it will be finally converted into contract. So here is the place where you are managing the contract, your commercial contracts. Okay, and if any escalation is there, let's say if you see in the commercial industries, they are having the concept of escalations after 5 years, 10 years, or 3 years. So you can manage all the escalations. So this is the part where you are exactly using your ReFx component. Okay, and finally, you can manage space, including move and room reservation. So this is the additional functionality here in the ReFx where you can manage your rooms reservations and seating arrangement in your organization. And then finally, it will go for maintenance and repair. Okay, so including everything, we are calling it as a real estate lifecycle management. So if you, when the concept is going to be initiated from that point to maintenance and repair, there are different modules are being involved here to manage the business processes, different business process. So let's say when you are talking about plan investment, and here in the SAP, we are having solution with the innovation management. We are having solution with EPPM portfolio project management. Once your concept is ready, it is approved, then you can manage your constructions of the project in project system. Okay, and once your product is ready, then you can create master data in ReFx. Once your ReFx master data is ready, you can create a contract, and once contract is there, you can manage your maintenance repair also in the plant maintenance. Okay, and apart from that, we are having integration with CRM system, we are having integration with GIS and other system also. So here, to understand exactly how it happens, the first phase we can consider it's a acquire, where I'm just looking to acquire some land, okay, to do the investment. And next phase is a development, and third is the operate, and fourth is a divest. Okay, so these are the four phases in the life cycle of real estate management as per the business perspective. Here, not exactly with reference to your ReFx, but as you compare, as you study the complete life cycle of any real estate management project in India, that these are the four major phases. So in acquire, exactly you are identifying your assets for the acquisition, evaluating the investment alternatives, raising the financings, negotiating the purchase, and transferring the ownership. So here exactly you are doing the investment. Okay, so even if before acquiring, you can have idea preparation or initiation also. Okay, but when you are going, let's say if you see the way of doing the business of different real estate companies, they used to acquire the land, okay, and or they used to acquire the buildings, and then they are starting their next step for the development. Okay, so here in development, they will take the permits from the different authorities or the registration process, and then planning the construction project. If they have taken, if they bought the land, then they will go for the construction, and then executing the construction project, managing subcontractors to construct the project, and then managing the construction and financing. So here, let's say the real estate company directly, they can give this complete project to some other contractor. They can do the subcontracting to get it ready. So here, managing subcontractors is the same transaction. So once my product is ready, once my project is ready, complete, then generating and managing tenant leads. So this is the phase, operate phase, where we need to find out the suitable tenants. Okay, then managing the tenants application to lease process, then service tenants request for the maintenance, improvement, and enjoyment, then collecting rent, managing the lease ending activities, refurbishing, and preparing the units for the next tenants. So this in operate phase, exactly we are using your exactly the real estate transactions. Okay, and then finally it is going for divest. We're identifying potentials where, let's say if you just want to sell your building, in that case identifying the potential buyer, preparing the assets for the sale, and negotiating the sales term, and transferring ownership to the new owner. Okay, so this here I have just included one simple cycle of any real estate business process. Okay, but how the SAP ReFx is helping us to manage all these business process steps, I'll explain in my next slide. So first is investment and construction. This is the place, this is the phase when we are talking about collect all investment ideas, approval steps, and decision criteria. So whenever, generally what happen whenever a new project is going to be launched, strategy department or portfolio management department will initiate for any idea or any initiative, and then it will go for feasibility study where we need to study technically whether it is possible or not. And then second step, financially it is possible or not. Then third step, we need to calculate all the ROI, return on investment, and apart from that, success factor. Okay, so we can calculate, and NPV also can be calculated to know exactly how much it will be good for us. So once all these things will happen, then we can plan to take it forward. Otherwise, we can drop it here itself. Okay. So here is the place where investment and construction provides the ability. Here we need to finalize the idea, we need to approve the idea, and then it will go for the construction. Okay, so before construction, the once the financial for feasibility will be finalized, then we will go for the detail planning. Okay, so here we need to finalize the budget, we can define the milestones, and we can define the deliverable dates. Okay, and here is the step where in the execution of my project where the different contractors will be invited to participate in the bidding process to complete our project. So it's a subcontracting process. Okay, so manage all land and building acquisition agreement. So this is a part of investment and construction only. So here in this phase in SAP EPPM, Enterprise Portfolio Project Management, is helping us. Okay, so deciding your investment, whether it is a good for us or not, PPM, Portfolio Project Management, can be used. Or if it is a part of your core system where you don't want to go for any additional license, your investment management module can help in this case. But PPM, Portfolio Project Management, is the best choice as of now in S4. So once your idea, your idea is completed, it is approved by going through with the different types of feasibility, then it will be replicated into PS project for further detail execution. So in PS you can do the detail planning, project system you can do the, or you can manage all the contracting, and then once this product will be ready, once your building is ready, then you can go for next step here. So EPPM, basically Enterprise Portfolio Project Management, it is a package which is having three major modules called Project System, Portfolio Project Management, and CPM, Commercial Project Management. Apart from that, EPCs also has been added recently in 2020 latest version of S4. And next is sales and marketing. So when your product is ready, when your building is ready, in this case, when you are thinking about the business perspective, then you are having two things. First, in some of places, you are looking for some tenants, or in some of projects, or in some of places, you would like to go for the sale. Okay, so here is the place where you need to go for plan campaign for promoting vacant spaces and track the qualify leads, work on new sales opportunities, match real estate demand and supply, provide detailed lease subcontract data to future tenants, and tender lease offers. These are the major activities which you need to do. So here when you are looking for sales and marketing, CRM is the model, customer relationship management, which can help you here. So what the solution we are having in SAP ReFx and CRM, you can manage, you can keep your all the master data in ReFx, which will reflect into CRM system. Okay, and there is one functionality of real estate search. Based on that, you can get best suitable unit for your prospect. Okay, so from CRM itself, you can search everything, and then based on that, you can go for the offer contract. So offer contract is nothing, it's just an initial contract, a rough contract, which is having all the conditions, all the details of your units and the time period for which it is valid. And then once it is a finalized between company, organization, and tenant, your prospect, then it will be converted into real estate contract. And sales, we can manage our sales in ReFx also, but if it is with reference to your project, in that case, it can be managed in PS project system and sales and distribution. So how it works in India? In India, let's say if you in India, we are having different procedures of payment, like a construction link plan. We are having flexible plan. We are having a down payment plan. So in construction link plan, based on the construction of the project that you need to bill to your customer, okay, and then customer will pay accordingly. So your product is already sold in initially, okay, and the payment is coming in milestones. In ReFx, we don't have this provision, because in ReFx, the final product we will have once my product, my master data will be available only once my product is ready. Once my building is ready, all the units are ready, then only we can have all this master data. So in that case, in ReFx only, straightforward, you can manage when you are going with your ready to move sale. Okay, not in the initial sale like how it has happened in India. But if you see outside of India, Middle East, Singapore, we don't have the provision of this construction linked plan. We used to have that installment, but that is nowhere linked with your construction of the project. So here we can manage this through CRM and SD, sales and marketing portion. And the next is lease and space management, where exactly you are going for ReFx use. So in this entire solution of ReFx, your real estate lifecycle management, this is the portion where you are going to use your ReFx module. So ReFx module is majorly focusing on your contracting, your commercial contracting part. So here is the place where you need to define the master data in ReFx, and you need to define all the parameters for search. You need to define all the partners, the conditions, how you are going to manage your contracts. Okay. And here handle assigned rental space, automatic calculation of rent will happen in your contract, and provide payment details and reminders for critical lease dates, straight line operational leases for accounting purpose, and to handle local taxes. So everything will be applicable based on your contracts. Escalate rents based on the price index, settle contingent rents and common areas maintenance, track employee space management, and plan move. So this component will be used for your room reservation and seating arrangement. So once your let's say finally you got the tenant, and then contract is in place, and every month you are executing this contract, and you are getting payment from your customer. And next step, when you need to look into your maintenance and repair. So let's say your tenant is there, and then he's having some issues in some let's say some equipment which have been given as a refurbished apartment, the furnished apartment, and then he's getting some issues. So he will call to customer care, or let's say if you are providing any app, so through app he will log in, and then he will create one notification, or he will complain that these are the issues which I'm facing in my unit. So it will go to initially it will go to the department maintenance team, and then they will visit the unit. If they can rectify it directly without putting any cost, or let's say without putting any new equipment or new component, in that case it can be closed at initial level. And if any cost is included to manage it, then it will go for the next step. So here in plant maintenance, we are having two objects to manage this. First is a notification, and second is a maintenance order. So if team is available, if team is able to rectify at initial level, let's say some wire is loose, and let's say there is some seepage, but they just put some lock of their water tank, and after that it was fine. So we are not putting any component or any new equipment in place. So at the notification level itself, we can close it. But if any new component is required to be installed, or any cost is going to be incurred, then it will go for the next level, which is the maintenance order. Okay. So here we are having provision to integrate with maintenance order directly. from ReFx. So in this complete cycle, if you see in real estate lifecycle management, your ReFx is here. It was started like you got your final product from PS. So ReFx is directly integrated with PS. It is integrated with PM, plant maintenance. It is integrated with CRM also. Okay, but it is not directly integrated with your SD system. Okay. So this you can manage in EM. We are calling it as a EM, Enterprise Asset Management. Within EM, we are having different modules called plant maintenance, WCM, work clearance management. We are having EPM, equipment management. We are having fleet management. So these are some modules which have been included in EM. So with with reference to your plant maintenance order, different processes can be managed. Okay, so here we are just going to focus on plant maintenance and work clearance management. Work clearance management modules help us to manage our tag in and tag out. Let's say if you are if maintenance team need for like some log tag out, like they just want to switch off some main point, electricity point or water point. In that case, they have to take the permission. Okay, it may be from the different authority or your local building janitor. So in that case, they need to go with the WCM process, work clearance management. It is an additional part of plant maintenance. So next is the entire SAP ReFx support full life cycle and property leasing scenarios and processes, how it is start. And it is this slide I'm just focusing to explain the real estate business process. Okay, earlier we were talking about the complete management, but it is focusing only on ReFx part. So my first step is to define the master data. So whenever my building is ready, let's say, or I have acquired any building, and my first step to do the master data setup. Okay, so in ReFx we are having different master data. We are having two views of master data. One is a usage view, another is a architectural view. Okay, so we need to create first master data. I'll explain what is master data, what kind of master data is there. So this is the first step when we are setting it up, and then we need to go for the marketing. Okay, so in marketing, with reference to by integrating your CRM system, you can market your all the projects and the units having all the additional facilities in that particular locality or in the township. And then when you are in the stage of marketing, your prospect will visit the site, and then as per his requirement, he will give you all the details. So let's say if any tenant is, if any prospect is visiting in your office, so if you are not using SAP and you just want to know his choice, what is exactly the preference, so generally what it happens, we used to give one form to him. Okay, you just fill in this form, so he will enter his detail. It is my the email ID, name, email ID, phone number, what is his preference, 2 BHK, 3 BHK, for what area he's looking. Is it near to airport, or it should be near to school? What are the other facilities he is looking for? So all the preference he will write in that. And if we are not using SAP, in that case, we need to search my available unit accordingly. But in SAP, all these details we can keep it in different master data. All prospect details we can keep it in business partner. And based on his preference, we can create one object called real estate search. And whatever the details we are entering as per his preference, we can search the best suitable units from our database. So here we will do this all exercise viewing and negotiation, where we will create some offered contract, and based on that we will show him all the conditions of paying the rent and the places where we are having the units and everything, and he will view the site. And once it is finished, then we will go for the offer. So this is the offered contract. This is the initial contract, a rough contract. So once it is agreed with all the conditions, then it will go for the contract creation. This is my real estate contract, which will be executed every month. So whatever agreed The rent is there, it has to be posted into your account. So here we are having a next step called billing account. In any case, if you want to terminate your contract, so it can be terminated anytime. So we are having termination notice. And if when this complete period is going to be finished, then it can be renewed again. So we are having next step of renewal. So what are the different steps we are having in product setups? First of all, we need to define the site, building, land, and rental unit. These are the four different type of master data. We are having site, we are having building. Site means business entity, and buildings. Within business entity we can create a buildings, we can create a land, and we can create a rental unit. I will explain this, what are the major differences here. Okay, and then these are some leasing scenarios we are having in SAP ReFx. A new lease we can create, we can renew the new lease. So when we are creating any contract, in that case, let's say when I'm considering it's a lease out scenario, when I'm giving my units to my customer, so we can create a new lease, we can renew it, we can pre-terminate it. So whenever we need, we can terminate it, we can provide the extension, we can hold it, or we can transfer when you are sealing it, or you can sublet it. Sublet means, let's say some area you can take it on rent from your vendor, and then you can further lease it out to your customer. So you can manage your sublet procedures also. Then leasing process. These are the leasing scenarios. These are leasing processes. We can define the new leases. We can have renewal. We are having notice, termination notice. We can transfer resubmissions. We are having. We can do the rent adjustment also. Okay, rent adjustment means when if we are looking for some addition, some increment in or decrement in rent after certain period in percentage or in amount, we can manage it here in ReFx. Rental accounting, we can do the periodic posting, we can do the accrual and deferral, sales based settlement. So these are some scenarios which we can manage here in ReFx. Rent structure, we are having different rent structure, fixed or staggered rent or rent free. I'd say in some of the places, if you see in the Middle East, 1 month or 2 months we used to keep it as a free. So how you can do that? And minimum rent plus sale based scenarios you can manage. Here sale based scenario means you can define your contract, you can define your rent based on the sales. So whatever sales is happening, some percentage of that particular sales you can consider as a rent. Okay, so you can define some minimum rent plus whatever the sales is happening. Okay, so minimum or sale based scenarios you can manage here. Taxes you can manage. Rental conditions, you can define some different conditions. Whatever the basic rent is going to be paid, you can define it. If any service charge is there, let's say some utility charges, you can manage in ReFx. License fees, if you are obtaining any license, let's say in some of places you used to go for some additional this verification and all. So that also can be managed here. License also can be managed. Rent free, you can manage rebates if you want to provide any rebates in certain period. Maintenance fund. So here you can define your fund. You can integrate with fund management also if you want. Reportings, we are having different kind of reportings here. Tenancy schedules, we can have occupancy analysis, lease expiry. Based on that, we can check all the details. Tenant trade mixes. So these are some reports only to just show here. So let me explain here business process and SAP ReFx. Here just we are talking about some functionalities which we are having in the ReFx. But when we are starting, my first point is setting up my master data. Okay, so this is the real estate object hierarchy. When we are going to create real estate master data, we are having two views. First is the usage view, and the second is the architecture view. Usage view is must for accounting purpose. So here I have taken example of usage view where we are creating our master data in ReFx from this place, site, from this place. So my site, my business entity, this site we used to call as a business entity. So my business entity has to be created under the company. Okay, so at company level, it has to be defined that we can use the ReFx for this particular company code or not. Okay, so here site or business entity, you can directly, let's say, just to understand, this business entity is your township. Okay, township, if you see this concept in township, we are having different buildings, residential building, we used to have the commercial arcade, we used to have the school, playground, we used to have the parking. So there are different kind of buildings we are having. Okay, buildings and land and rental units. So here township used to be considered as a business entity. In this example, I'm considering. So let's say the township is having different residential building, which can be considered as a building. Okay, so in ReFx, we need to create first business entity. Within that, we need to create a building. So let's say the tower 1, tower 2, tower 3, all these building has to be created accordingly. And let's say there is some parking space there. So that parking space can be created as a land. Okay, because it is not having any construction. So that will be considered as a land. And under the building, we are having provision to create a different rental object. So first is a rental unit. Rental unit, you need to consider the unit which is going to be lease out or lease in. So here, let's say if I'm taking example for residential building, the rental unit is apartment, the flat, which you are going to rent it out. Okay. If you are going with the commercial concept, commercial project, in that case, let's say the block A is a building, and within this block A, all the shops will be considered as a rental unit. But if you see in the malls, in gallery, in that open area, they used to rent out some small spaces. Okay, in lobby. So that entire space need to be considered as pooled space, and from this pooled space we need to extract rental space for lease it out. So rental space is basically, it will not have any wall, it will have only, like, you need to demark, you need to only keep it in the document, like how much area is utilized here, how much area is going to be used, or how much area is going to be leased out here. Okay, so here within a building you can have rental unit, and you are having pooled space, and within pooled space you can create a rental space also. Okay, and here in the land also you can create a pooled space, you can create a rental space. So here when we are going from the first step, when any prospect is visiting the office, or just he want to inquire about the available unit as per his preference, so the admin department or the person who is sitting by customer care, he will create one real estate search here. Okay, so here I have taken one screenshot. That is the next step. After setting up my master data, real estate search has to be created. So here in SAP ReFx, we need to define the real estate search text here, contract start date, from which date to which date he is looking, or if you are considering some later dates also, you can select this option. Okay, and then search criteria, from which date to which date you want to consider, and lease rent. So you can enter all the preference here, and once you are going for it, there is a next step to define the location, and then features, whatever the features. So these features we can include in fixture and fitting characteristics. There is one, you can, when you are setting up your master data, there is one tab where you can define all the fixture and fittings characteristics. So in fixture and fittings, basically when you are creating your rental unit, let's say the flat, you need to define what kind of different functionalities, facilities we are having. Air conditioned, it is we are having sprinklers, we are having raised floor, we are having fitted out, flow trap, grease trap, water inlet. So all these things are available. So wherever you are selecting, system will fetch my data from available master data. Okay, so in real estate search, we are just defining here the preference, and when we are executing the search, system will provide us the search detail. Okay, so here system is giving us the complete details, that these are the unit where this is the size and this is the amount, and based on that, next step we can create the contract offer contract. Okay, so from real estate search itself we can create a offer contract. And in the next step, in offer contract, this is having all the details like when it is going to be reserved. Okay, so let's say for 2 days or 3 days, I just want to keep it validate. After that, whatever I have the unit, whatever I have kept in the contract offer, that will be released it out. That will be considered in different search also. Okay, so we can have this provision. So I'm reserving it for some certain date, and then to whom I am doing it, these are the partners. Okay, and this is my object which is going to release out, and these are the conditions. Conditions is basically we need to define how much rent will be there, and what will be my basic rent, what will be my service charges, what will be my maintenance charges. If any additional charges there, we can define all the charges here. Okay, and the next is, so once this contract is this offered contract is finalized, once my tenant is ready to take it this unit, then we will go for the next step to lease out contract. That is my real contract, ReFx contract, which has to be copied from your contract offer, and here you can activate it to take it forward for accounting purpose. So the offer status will be updated to offer rejected. If reject offer is performed, the status can be reverted if necessary. So we are having provision. Let's say if initially the prospect is saying he's canceling, he's not showing any interest, so we can cancel it. But in later stage also, if we want to revoke it, we can revoke it. Here the offer can also be converted into real estate contract upon offer acceptance. A new contract criteria screen is opened, and all offer data will be transferred automatically into the contract. Additional information can be entered and saved. So whatever the delta details are having, you can maintain it directly in contract. So this is the, let's say your contract is finalized, you can take a print from the system itself. We are having functionality of correspondence where we can develop our own forms, or we can use some existing forms also. And then every month we need to run our system to create a periodic postings. Okay, so here is one transaction called RERAPP which has to be executed every month. System will select all the contract based on the input parameters whatever you are keeping, and here you can post the values. Okay, and once it is posting has happened, then finally the customer has to pay. Okay, so we can clear all the entries in next step. So here the periodic posting can be run for the specific contract or for all contract by the selecting the company code or by the contract type. So we are having different criteria. We can go with the company code wise, contract wise, or contract type wise. Site for contract, that is my business entity wise. Contract validity wise, we can go. We can filter based on the person responsible. Okay, for which month we are executing this year of posting run. What is the due date to pay this amount? Okay, and these are the details which we are keeping in my posting document. What will be the text here? What is my posting date, document date, posting period, posting run mode, is it simulation or final? So you can select it here. So here this is the let's say if you are just understanding a simple cycle here in ReFx, which is starting from your master data setup, then you are creating a real estate search, then it is going for offered contract, then you are creating contract, then finally you are doing the posting. So this is a simple cycle here. In ReFx, we are having some additional business processes in CRE, commercial real estate management. Okay, so what exactly we are having when we are going to understand complete list here, master data setup. First we need to define whether it is a usage view or architectural view. We can integrate, we can assign usage view master data with architectural view master data. Okay, and then real estate search you can use. Contract management, we are having different contract types, based on that you can manage different contracts here. Then accounting, okay, how the posting will happen when you are running your billing cycle. Sale based rent, basically here in this scenario you need to you can go with the provision of having rent based on the sales. So it is generally it is only for commercial projects, okay, where you are having sales. In India or all over worldwide, wherever these food industries are, like renowned food chains are there, they used to go with the same concept, sale based rent. So where based on the sale, based on the net sale or based on the gross sale, we can define how much percentage of that sale will be considered as a rent. Okay, so how it happen? Let's say in MACD every month, whatever the sales they are having, that complete sale transaction has to given to landlord. Okay, and if they are using ReFx, this landlord will upload this complete transaction into ReFx system, and ReFx system will calculate all the rent based on the prerequisites, and it will post it further in next level. So this is the sale based rent, and here we used to have one more scenario where we can have some minimum rent and then sale based rent. Like in Corona time, in COVID time, there was no sales. Okay, so everything was closed. So some landlord, they need some security. Okay, at least some amount should be paid. And we are not saying that you pay whatever we were getting earlier, but at least let's say if we were getting 100,000 earlier, but at least now we should get 10,000 or 5,000. So we can have a provision to have some minimum rent plus whatever the sales is there, then some percentage of sales. So this provision also we are having in the system. The next is service charge settlement. Whatever the services you are providing into your providing to your tenants, like let's say cleaning, you are providing electricity, water. So we are having a different provisions to charge this service to my tenant. So let's say if it is for cleaning, so the cleaning can be apportioned based on the area, whatever they are acquiring, whatever the area they are having in the use. Okay. In some of places, in some of cases for the utility charges, for water utility charges or electricity utility charges, it can be based on the meters reading. So here is the place where we are going to integrate with plant maintenance. So this meter reading and equipment, everything has to be available in plant maintenance, and then whatever the reading we are getting in the plant maintenance, with reference to that, based on some rates, we can charge it to my customer. Condition adjustment, if any increment or decrement of rent due to any reason, we can define the rules to increase or decrease my rent here. IFRS 16 valuation postings. It is here in new concept of IFRS 16. We can define the different valuation parameters in my contract. Okay, and based on that, system will do the posting. Option rate determination and input tax distribution. Generally, it is used out of India, where we are getting all the rent in a mixed way, and finally it has to be distributed as per my defined tax. Let's say if you are charging some amount in the same category of residential and commercial, in same category, if you are charging, it has to be distributed as per applicable taxes. So here we can manage an option rate determination. Next is a room reservation, where we can manage our rooms to reserve. In offices where we are having cabins, desk, we can manage it through this component, room reservation and long-term seating arrangement. Yeah. So I have taken one example of a space management here. That is, you maintain the long-term occupancy. You can define, let's say, whenever any person is going to join the organization, you can allot one space to him for a long term. Okay, so we are having this functionality, and whatever the cost, let's say if you are renting out this space, for example, some amount you can consider, some rate you can consider, and you can post into your cost center. You can post into CO. Move management, you can manage it. These are some steps. Okay, here, 1 second. Let me go to the next step here. Okay, I will show you the reporting, profit center and cost reports. Whatever the reports we are having here, we can analyze the reports in information system, in cost center accounting. Whatever the cost center, whatever the organization objects we are using from the cost, from the CO, that with respect to that we can analyze our plan versus actual cost. And we are having dashboard also. We are having profit center reports. This is the same which we are using in our CO module, and we can define real estate dashboard. Okay, So in SAP S4 as of now, we are having two app available. In first app, the same one transaction we can get, and another transaction is being used to search contract. So these are the two standard app only. But we are having some BI reports in a standard system where we can analyze the data. Okay. So whatever the screen you can see here, it is basically taken from one customer where we have developed this kind of dashboard. Okay, here we are having integration